me a good hand. 2 6s and 2 4s. That's good. It's not bad. It's not bad. Alright, he's got 2 4s and 2 1s. He definitely doesn't have the upper hand yet. Alright, come on. Give me a 6 or a 4. 6 or 4. Let's do this. Yes! Full hands. 3 4s and 2 6s. I like it. He's trying for the whole thing. Womp. You lose, pal. Wow. We have been doing really good at gambling. That's something, all right. All right, we're gonna go ahead and head on over to the cave over here. You know, something we didn't do is go into our journal and read some stuff. So let's go through our journal real quick. Here's our dice poker, the novice at this point. I get better at dice poker every day. I've beaten 3 players, and I wouldn't mind seeing how professionals play. We have the game of dice up here. I played Zoltan. It was educational. I think I know how it works. I wonder if I can make any money playing. We've made some. Hot potato. I accepted a job from Heron Brog. I need to deliver a small parcel to Vizima. To a man named Coleman. No questions asked. I can find him at the Hairy Bear. Easy money or lots of trouble. I guess we'll see. Who knows? Alright, let's check out the Salamander's Tail, or maybe it's Trail. I gained the trust of the village's most prominent residents. I should talk to the Reverend. Nah, not yet. Not yet. Let's check out some characters here. We've got more on the mysterious mage. Let's see here. I think we read the 2 first parts, but let's see. One of the leaders of the forces that attacked Kermoran was a mage, powerful. Yeah, we did. The mysterious mage using the salamander symbol is a skilled alchemist who is researching mutation. Let's read about Odo. The wealthiest person in the outskirts is a grim drunkard who inherited a fortune from his brother. Odo is distrustful and stingy. He lives at the end of the village, in a house surrounded by a fence with a high gate. Alright, let's look at Heron Brog here. Heron Brog is a suspicious character who fears only the Reverend. He sneers at the law and surrounds himself with thugs who protect his shady dealings. Brog lives in the outskirts, in a little lakeside settlement that he rules outright. He never strays far from his house. Brog runs a store, trading in weapons and alchemical ingredients used to produce bombs. We'll be back in just a second. Alright, we are back again, and I had to stop for a little while there. We were having a pretty bad storm. So hopefully that's over and done with. But we'll go back to the journal here. I believe we were just reading about Heron Brog a little while ago, and how he had alchemical ingredients to produce bombs. Let's see what else we got going here. So we've got the Hairy Bear Inn. The Hairy Bear Inn is a place for indiscriminate clientele. The innkeeper obviously holds back on the lie, though he waters down the ale generously enough. Patrons share the thin mattresses with rats, but most everyone can find their entertainment of choice here. Legal fistfight enthusiasts, hustlers, and drunkards will all find something to do at the Hairy Bear. And here we have the crypt. There's an old crypt in the outskirts, and it has not been used for a long time. People are afraid to enter because of the monsters that dwell there. Rumor has it that treasure is hidden inside the crypt. The truth is that people of old were buried there with valuable items. Sometimes the graves of the wealthy were separated from the remainder of the crypt by an additional wall for fear of robbery. So the wall that has been picked out could very well have some good treasures behind it. You know what's funny is I stopped for a storm and it's technically raining in the game. Alright, we've got a whole bunch of monsters here to look at. We have dogs, which I don't really count as monsters, but you know, it is what it is. Dogs are domesticated animals. Even wild dogs stay close to human settlements. They have no immunities. They're susceptible to fear and knockdown attempts. Experienced witchers will use the group style when fighting against multiple dogs. Dogs attack in groups, taking advantage of numerical superiority. They can have beast fangs and beast liver. Whoever claims that dog is man's best friend has probably never tamed a wyvern. Anonymous druid. Here we have the Vargas. Vargas are ghosts which come from the underworld only when summoned. Vargas are fearless and cannot be poisoned. Coming from the underworld, they acquire bodies so they can be stunned and experience pain, although they are somewhat resistant to these effects. Vargas are sensitive to silver and very susceptible to knockdown attempts. The fast style is most efficient against the Vargas, and experienced witchers will use the group style while fighting multiple Vargas. They try to surround their opponents and work as a group. Where one Vargas appears, more will follow. Yeah, we know that. They continuously spawn in some areas. They can drop beast fangs, ectoplasm, and death dust, but they also will drop their Vargas skulls. It's just Vargas skulls aren't usable for alchemy. People say that Vargas are specters which materialize as ghastly dogs and persecute the living. According to some folk tales, these monsters are the scouts of the Wild Hunt. Other legends say the ghosts appear as a sign of divine retribution and embody revenge. However, all tales agree on one point. Vargas somehow show the living no mercy. Somehow, I don't know where I put somehow in there. Drowner. Drowners are creatures of the night. They appear on the banks of ponds, lakes, and rivers. They're immune to bleeding, blinding, and poison attempts. Fearless, immune to stun attempts and the Axii sign. Didn't we read this already? I feel like we did. Because we were talking about the drowned dead at some point. Did something new come here? It might have been that, I don't know. I'm not sure what got added here. Anyways, drowners are scoundrels. Yeah, I feel like we read all of this before. I'm not sure what's new. Sorry if I'm missing something, but I feel like there's nothing new here. I might be missing something, though. Whatever. Anyways, let's go read about ghouls. Ghouls are encountered on the battlefields, as well as in cemeteries and abandoned crypts. Resistant to common poisons. They're sensitive to silver and necrophage oil. The strong style is most efficient against ghouls. Experienced witchers use the group style while fighting multiple ghouls. A group of ghouls will try to knock an opponent down, surrounding him and starting to eat him alive. They can drop abomination lymph, white vinegar, and ghoul blood. Ghouls are said to have been humans who were once forced into cannibalism and after many years spent in dark crypts underwent a horrifying transformation. Only human flesh can satisfy their eternal hunger, so they kill people and store the remains in the recesses of their lairs. So basically they're Wendigos. Graveers. Graveers appear wherever they can find food, preferably human corpses, but any carcass will do. Immune to common poisons and resistant to knockdown attempts, though they have tough skin and thick muscles that protect them from blows. They're sensitive to silver and necrophage oil. The strong style is most effective against graveers. Graveers try to knock down their victims and eat them alive, just like ghouls. They can drop cadaverine, white vinegar, and graveer bones. After the war with Nilfgaard, graveers became a real plague. Until then, the monsters were familiar only to specialists and professional beast killers. Thus, everyone mistook them for ghouls. Today, any child could give an accurate description of a graveer. and people who have passed near battlefields or necropolises offer first-hand accounts of the horrible murders committed by these ruthless necrophages. Man, I'm just all tongue-tied, aren't I? Wolves. Wolves live in the wilderness. When they are hungry, they approach human settlements and hunt farm animals. They have no immunities, they're susceptible to knockdown attempts. The fast style is most effective against wolves. Experienced witchers will use the group style when fighting multiple wolves. Wolves attack in groups using their numerical superiority, just like dogs, to their advantage. They can drop beast fangs and beast liver for alchemy items. There was so much snow that winter that we had to dig tunnels just to get to the privy and had icicles in our pants by the time we got back. Wolves came out of the forest, ate the cattle, and then surrounded the house. They were howling madly. Surrounded by that pack of wolves, we felt like 3 little pigs. Well, it's too bad you didn't have someone with a certain set of skills. He could have maybe broke some glass bottles and taped them to his fingers. If you know what I'm talking about. Also, there's probably a lot of people who have been screaming at me because I keep saying flame when we're talking about the eternal fire. I'm literally talking about a Bengals song. Come on, guys. If you haven't caught on by now that I make weird references, then who knows? Dark areas. This is just tutorials, so I don't really care about reading anything about the tutorials. We've already read these as gameplay has gone on. Let's read about the conjunction of the spheres. A cataclysm which occurred 1,500 years ago, trapping in our dimension many unnatural creatures, including ghouls, graveers, and vampires. These beasts have no ecological niches of their own, and are merely relics of bygone times. According to elven lore, humans arrived during the conjunction, their own world having been destroyed. These human ancestors learned how to harness the power of primordial chaos, and thus the first human wizards were born. Looking for a place in the world, humans took up arms against the elder races, who were unable to withstand the barbarians and ultimately surrendered. This is how humans came to rule the world. Elves. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure we read about being after gnomes. They're the eldest race. I think we read about Dolbothana and the Valley of the Flowers. I think only the last one is what we need to read at this point. I don't know. It gets difficult to differentiate because I'm going back to these things much later after I've read them, and I'm like, did we read this? I don't know. Like, I've read it at some point in my life, probably a long time before I did this Let's Play. So it's like, did I read it? Did I not? I don't know. Anyways, elves are a beautiful and long-lived race. They have pointed ears, sharp features, and possess no canine teeth. Elves are arrogant and proud, and over many centuries have developed a high and sophisticated culture. Few remain today, however, and these are in constant conflict with human civilization. That is why so many young elves eager to fight for their rights join the Scoia'tael commando units. Mages. Pretty sure we read the first paragraph here, so we'll just go to the second one. Simple folk fail to differentiate between witches, sorcerers, and witchers. Anyone who wields magic is regarded as suspicious and godless, but the better educated and those who dwell in large cities know to treat mages with due respect. Sumerian History. The first Nilfgaardian invasion began 10 years ago after crossing the Yaruga River. The Black Ones attacked Sintra. The capital was taken by surprise, its citizens were slaughtered, and the queen committed suicide. Brugg, Sodden, and Temeria stood against Nilfgaard. It seemed the Nilfgaardian offensive was unstoppable, but the three states managed to halt it at the Battle of Sodden. Altogether, 22 mages fought for the northern kingdoms, 14 of whom died. Yet, in the end, it was the mages who negotiated a truce. After 3 peaceful years, during a meeting of the Brotherhood of Sorcerers, there occurred a schism in the organization, and its members fought each other. As a result, many died and the Brotherhood disbanded. At the same time, the Imperial forces attacked the northern kingdoms. The kings were divided, arguing, and couldn't face Nilfgaard on their own. King Foltest signed a truce with the Black Ones, yet it proved short-lived. The Imperial army pushed forward and was not defeated until the Battle of Brenna. This victory proved pivotal, reminding the feuding rulers that Nilfgaard is not invincible. The kings of the north reunited and faced the Black Ones together. Finally, a peace treaty was signed, changing the balance of power in the world forever. Before Laura Doran died in solitude, she gave birth to a daughter, who was adopted by the Queen of Redania, and named Rhiannon. At the age of 17, Rhiannon married Gidmar, the king of Temeria. 3 years after wedding, the famous Falca Rebellion began, during which the pregnant Rhiannon was accidentally captured. In prison, she gave birth to twins and subsequently descended into madness. At the same time, the fierce Falca gave birth to a daughter, whom she abandoned to wage war, leaving the child for the mad prisoner to nurse. Soon thereafter, the rebellion was suppressed, Falca was captured and burned at the stake, and King Gidmar regained his wife, with 3 children. So we don't know which of those 3 children is Falca's daughter, and we don't know which of them are born to Rhiannon. So interesting kind of history there of everything coming together. But Laura Doran is very important because that's a very special bloodline. We may learn more about that in mentions as we learn the history of the world, but we won't go too far into that, I'm pretty sure, during this game. Alright, we have some ingredients here, including the ballast fruit, which is edible fruit characterized by subtle magic resonance. Beast fangs, obtained from the carcasses of dogs, wolves, barghests, mutants, skullheads, and armored hounds. Beast liver, obtained from dogs, wolves, mutants, and skullheads. Berbicane fruit, tart and juicy, often used by witches. Crow's eye, the root of a cypress-like bush. Death dust, obtained from the bodies of wraiths, noon wraiths, night wraiths, and barghests. Ectoplasm, obtained from the bodies of Afrits, barghests, specters, moon wraiths, and night wraiths. Ghoul blood, obtained from, you guessed it, princes and ghouls, just ghouls. Gravere bones, also obtained from graveres. Green mold, grows on walls in damp, dark places. Hellebore petals, flower petals of a common field plant. Suents, large gray mushrooms growing in caves. White myrtle petals, petals of a common field plant with big white flowers. White vinegar, an alchemist catalyst obtained from the carcasses of ghouls, alguls, scimitars, and graveres. I think that is all of our new ingredients. We have some new formulas too. We have Crinfrit Oil. A blade coated with this substance causes crippling pain to a wounded creature. Creatures which do not feel pain are immune to its effects. The oil is made by mixing ingredients providing 1 measure each of vitriol, aether, and hydrogenum, and 2 measures of vermilion. Top quality grease must be used as a base, because we're going to need to do 5 different things all at once. It has a long-lasting effect, and the formula for this substance comes from the city of Crinfrit, where it is widely employed by dark characters of all kinds.